lovely to hear that you're from Boston, or from the area, because I was born in Boston, and I lived all over New England. And finally, after we moved to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I was out of high school, I chose the Art Institute of Boston to go back to school to, because it was in Boston, my birthplace, and also the least expensive that had illustration as a major, because I thought I would illustrate children's books. Because I grew up with books, and my first books were on artworks, the Childcraft series, which were really wonderful. But I always loved drawing, and I thought, okay, I'll try that. But of course, I needed to make a living, and I didn't want to start out in an advertising agency selling something I didn't like. But Hallmark came around to our schools, and they would look for young artists to bring to Hallmark, and I thought, well, I could sell sentiment, you know, and be painting 8 hours a day, and that's not such a bad thing to be selling. So I went for that, and it was great to go to Kansas City, and you know, they put out the red carpet for their new artists, and it was a great way to go. But anyway, this work is all kind of all over the map, and it's been a long haul because it took me a long time to figure out what I wanted to really do. I was drawing from Hallmark. I went into stained glass, and I did stained glass for 30 years, designing and painting with fired enamels, and it was really fun, but it was all mostly commissions. And so I always wondered what it would be like to have my own direction, except I didn't know what my direction was, because I hadn't met a medium yet that would allow me to do landscape or something. Oh, they were all seemed inadequate until I took a course with Tom Wood in Bellingham, and in one weekend he got me over my fear, and I just started in 2005, and it's been there's no turning back. I still love glass, but there's just no way to really do it. It's too expensive to produce, and it's too hard to get the materials, and nobody's got the money to buy it. So this is fabulous. I love working in oil paint, and sometimes it's a real struggle, and I overwork things, but sometimes things really end up being kind of like calligraphy, and I felt like I got some of that in these areas, and it just kind of thrilled me that even though I really can overwork some pieces, this one, even though I went back, you know, sequentially with different colors and tried to cover the whole thing, it never really got tight. You know, it's like some of my other things get tight, and so I was really pleased with this, and really pleased with the very last one, because it was even more just like, it was there, and I could let go and just do it. It's just such a lot of fun. I always had too much fun, and I feel like that's such a huge blessing. And I don't know what luck got me there, because so many people, you were saying, you know, we're all about stories, and you all have stories, wonderful stories to tell, and here you are, you're listening to ours, and I'm so grateful for that. It's wonderful. Lately, I started out just using rounds, you know, round brushes, because I really looked at a lot of Van Gogh, and I loved how it seemed like he'd do a whole painting with just one size brush, and it would all be wonderful. And I think my first show was all doing it that way here. And lately, I've gotten into these square-tipped things. What are they called? Flats, and yeah. Because they can almost do a calligraphic thing. You know, you can make a big long stroke and then go right to a line. And it's such a treat to have that versatility and get really into some sharp edges, you know, and it's a real treat. So, and I've always done realistic stuff. I don't know my way around abstract, but I love what happens to where I look right my brushes. You know, I love what happens with these sheets of wipings, and I think someday I'll figure out, you know, something more abstract. Do you have any questions? I think it might be better if you ask me stuff. I mean, other things I'd like to know about process or anything.
Are those linen?
No, these are just paper towels. Okay, nice. I've always liked brown paper and cardboard. I just like the stuff that it is. Yeah, oh, and I so grateful to Smith and Valley for this wonderful space and these wonderful lights. Wes explained to me about these beautiful lights. I have terrible light in my studio, and I really should fix it. And I haven't seen my paintings like this. They really come alive in this light. It's such a huge treat. I really wanted to thank also Greg Thompson. Some of you may be on his mailing list and get his birds in your email boxes every other day or so. And that was one of his photographs that, he doesn't mind what you do with them. That Merlin was really special. So, yes?
Did designing for stained glass carry over into what you're doing now?
Yeah, I think it did. I think I still love line. And line was so definitive in stained glass, as you would know. And the brilliancy of the colors, I love trying to get that in my paintings. I love the dark and the light and the extreme contrast, although every once in a while there will be a piece where the light is pretty subdued, and that's fun too, but obviously this is very subdued. But yeah, mostly I like how to shape the patterns all across things. Yes?
Do you work from photographs, or do you know what you're doing beforehand? Do you draw it all out? Or?
I work exclusively from photographs. I have nothing in my head of any value. It's all what falls before me, or suddenly. It feels like I can't take two steps without something that's kind of, oh my God, So yeah, it's from photographs, and then I'll just take it. I used to draw grid, on really complex things and make sure I got things in the right place to begin with. But with most subjects, I like to just kind of freehand it always with the photograph in hand, And hopefully, where there's places where I deviate from what it is, I am making decisions that maybe might be better for the composition. I don't know, but usually I find that what's in the photograph, what is presented, has such perfection that the shapes are so graceful and beautiful, and I just want to make those shapes that I see, and to deviate is to, is to not to do it justice. But sometimes that changes. Anyway. Anything else? Yes.
How long was a painting like this?
Oh, this one took me weeks, but I don't work consistently. I let everything else come before, all the mechanics of living and the meals and the shopping and all of that stuff. But it took weeks. If I can get a 6 to 8 hour day, it's a good day. Yeah. Yes.
Do you like to be working on multiple paintings at one time, or do you try to finish one before you move on?
I try to finish, but that blue wing there was the result of way too much blue paint left over on my palette. And I thought, okay, I don't want to waste it. Let's do something. And I have a table in the studio that's just covered with drifts of photographs that I've printed on the computer of things I've taken that I want to paint. So they're always there. And if something like that, I have several of those, holding it up to the light. And so I just grabbed one and made it. Anything else? Okay. I've got since we're from Boston, I've got a Herman Melville for you. Of all things that he would write this, he would, okay, now I have to begin my name. In placid hours, well pleased we dream of many a brave, unbodied scheme, but formed to lend, pulsed life create, what unlike things must meet and mate. A flame to melt, a wind to freeze, sad patience, joyous energies. Humility, yet pride and scorn, instinct and study, love and hate. Audacity, reverence, these must mate, and fuse with Jacob's mystic heart to wrestle with the angel art.